I want to start off by saying, Call Allah Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the elders and the elect of Israel, and also to the Akim pushing his truth and truth and sincerity. My name is Kahan from the GMS Dallas camp. Just want to read a little bit of this article about the current presidential pardon, which is a controversy right now. So I hope this lesson is edifying. I'll bring out the article real quick. Salaki. Okay, so basically the title of this article is "Where's the pardon for thousands of black men locked up for what Hunter Biden did?" Right, and Hunter Biden is the son of the president, current president. It says in a highly controversial move this weekend, President Joe Biden did something that he repeatedly promised he would not do. He pardoned his son, Hunter Biden, who was found guilty of crimes relating to the illegal purchase of a firearm and of tax violations. Hunter has been given a full and unconditional pardon by his father, right? It says, explaining his rationale, President Biden essentially alleged that his son's legal troubles were the result of a political motivated witch hunt, and that his Justice Department carried out a miscarriage of justice against his own son. The "no one is above the law" refrain that Biden and others used against President-elect Donald Trump when he had his legal problems, the blink of an eye, right? So this reader says, to be honest, I don't care that the president pardoned his son. I never believed when he said that he wouldn't do it. And if I were in his position and Hunter was my son, I'd at least consider doing the same. What I do care about, however, is the fact that President Biden was the author of the laws that locked up many black men for doing some of the same crimes that Hunter was just pardoned for. So again, let me get the Psalm 17:13, Bob Kashar, real quick. This is Psalms chapter 17, verse 13. It says, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." And again, the reason why I bring out this scripture is because Esau, Edom is that sword. But first and foremost, Jake needs to understand that the sword, which is Esau, Edom, and the curses pursuant to Deuteronomy 28:48, they go hand in hand, right? So, Baba Shah, let me get that Deuteronomy 28, verse 48 real quick. Okay. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. It says, "Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he hath destroyed thee." Right? So even before Deuteronomy 28, verse 48, you got to read up a little bit to verse 16, I believe, Babkashah. Is, well, actually 15. It says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." Right? And one of these curses was the fact that we will be serving our enemies, right? We'll be serving our enemies, and our oppressors will basically have rulership over us. And this is what Jake doesn't understand, right? The sword is likened to a whooping stick, you know, and that's given to the wicked. It's given to those who are ruling over us, to our oppressors, so-called white man, right? So again, the wicked has has the power to do those things that are going to be seen as things that are not like having judgment, right? So the tools that were given to Esau Edom, for example, the prison industrial complex, the 1994 crime bill, the inequality, you know, that you see in the Justice Department, right? These were the tools that were given to the so-called white man, because why? it was given to him to maintain his power, and more importantly, it was given so that it will keep us in obedience to that power, right? So, Baba Kishar, let me bring up just one of these research things I was looking at. So, like, this is. Okay, so this is just for educational purposes, just doing a little research on the crime bill. It says, again, this is the Brookings. It says commentary. It said, did the 1994 crime bill cause mass incarceration? And we know it did, right? It says the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act of 1994, commonly known as the Crime Bill, was sponsored by Joe Biden 26 years ago, right? It is often blamed for extending tough on crime policies that overly criminalize Black Americans, right? So let me jump down a little bit. Why did they pass this crime bill? Well, it says in a recent interview, uh, Representative James Clyburn, a member of the House leadership and one of the most powerful African American elected officials, reflected on the reason for his vote in favor of the bill. It says crack cocaine was a scourge in the Black community, he recalled. They wanted it out of those communities, and they had gotten very tough on drugs. And that's why yours truly and other members of the Congressional Black Caucuses voted for that 1994 crime bill, right? So again, that crime bill was a response as to the overwhelming drugs that were in the inner cities, right? So uh, Joe Biden and some of the congressional Black members, Congress, they devised or created 1994 crime bill. But again, these are just tools that have been given to Esau Edom to maintain his power, right? So again, that power is likened to a whooping stick, right? So the prison industrial complex, the 1994 crime bill, all these inequalities in the Justice Department, those are the tools that were given to so-called Esau Edom to maintain his power. And that's what Jake doesn't understand, right? So, Baba Shaw, let me get that Micah chapter 2, verse 1. All right. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Micah chapter 2, verse 1 says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. And again, uh, the crime bills, all these laws, all these unrighteous decrees are in the hand of Esau Edom, because he is ruling in this present day, right? So again, Esau creates these bills that become laws, which affect Jake intentionally, right? And then he creates pardons, which is a pardon. I looked up that word. It says it's a relief from punishment that grants forgiveness of federal offenses. So he creates laws against Jakes, but he creates pardons, right, for himself. And again, that's just another characteristic. That's a tool that Esau Edom uses to maintain his power, right? That's how we understand that Esau Edom is in rulership today. He creates the laws against Jake, but creates pardons for himself. And this and this article is reflecting that, right? Bob Kashad, this article, going back to this article real quick, right? Salaki, right? So this article, it says, what I do care about, however, is the fact that President Biden was the author of the laws that locked up many Black men for doing some of the same crimes that Hunter was just pardoned for, right? So he's upset that President Biden for pardons for the same crime that his son committed. Right? It says, as a senator, Biden was one of the authors of the law that his son violated. The prohibition against drug addicts owning guns. He has repeatedly bragged about his involvement in creating virtually every major crime law of the 1980s and 1990s. His push to create a federal drug czar and went so far that even Ronald Reagan vetoed it, right? So he says, moreover, one of the most egregious acts of Biden's legislative legacy was the outrageous sentencing disparity, right, between those in possession of crack cocaine and powder cocaine, right? So it was more harsher on Jake, right, for having possessing cocaine versus, crack cocaine versus just regular cocaine, right? Powder cocaine, rather. So it says, now consider that Hunter was seen multiple times on tape smoking crack cocaine and wasn't even charged with possession, while thousands of blacks and Hispanic Americans were harmed by the desperate sentencing that Joe Biden supported. Again, going back to those curses, right? Let's go back to those curses. Deuteronomy 28:48, right? Deuteronomy 28:48. Again, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And that yoke of iron is basically slavery, you know, being in subject to being in subjection to someone else, right? So again, these injustices, right, and wrong judgments are to be observed, right? We are to observe all the wickedness and wrong judgments in this wicked kingdom, right? So, Baba Shah, let me get that Obadiah chapter 1, verse 10, right? It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Again, all these wicked judgments, all these things done against Jake, right? It's because of the curses that we're under, right? And we understand through the spirit of Yahweh Shemashah that Yahweh has given, the power to Esau, Edom, to be put in this position, right? So Baba Shah, I'm gonna get that the word violence in the blue letter book, Baba Shah. Let me get that. Shalaki. Okay, it's Obadiah 1 and 10. Shalaki. It's Obadiah chapter 1, verse 10. That word violence is, all right.
Strong's H2555. Hamas. Hamas.
Hamas. What does that mean? That means violence, wrong, cruelty, and justice, right? So again, we are witnessing the violence, the wrongdoings, the cruelty, the injustice against Jake, right? So through the wisdom of the scriptures, we understand that the Holy Spirit and our testimony is building up a case, against so-called Esau Edom, against the wicked, right? So when the Most High brings judgment against the rulers of this world, right, it will be righteous, right? The reporter is concerned that, basically, why didn't President Biden extend those pardons uh, 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 for other Jakes that committed the same crime as his son, right? So we are observing that that's not fair. That's not justice, right? So again, our cause is basically to bear witness, and to indulge the wicked, judgments of this kingdom, and report it, right? That's what we're supposed to do. We're speaking with authority, you know, with this truth, right? While going through the vexing experiences of the injustice of this wicked kingdom, right? We're not to beg our oppressors for equality, right? We're building up a case against the wickedness of these rulers, right? That's where our faith comes in, right? Again, the rulers, they're gonna do what they're supposed to do. They're gonna do according to prophecy. They're gonna do what they're doing according to prophecy, and scriptures is gonna reflect that, right? So again, Baba Shah, I'm gonna get it's that Revelation. Get Revelation 22:11, because everything is going to according to prophecy. It says, "He that is unjust, let him be unjust still, and he which is filthy, let him be filthy, and he that is righteous, let him be righteous still, and he that is holy, let him be holy still." Yeah, that's basically what we're preaching today. The evil doers will do evil. They are going to persistently act in a wicked manner, right? Because again, uh, everyone is up in arms and upset that the President Biden said he wasn't going to pardon his son, but he actually did. But then he didn't extend that same clemency towards Jakes, who committed the same crimes, right? And that word clemency is like a pass. It's forgiveness, right? Forgiveness of doing something wrong, right? And basically, the righteous, we know that the blood of Yahweh Shemashah covers the elect. You know, we pray that the Most High, is going to increase us, and deliver us from a lot of the wicked judgments of this kingdom, right? That's what we're focused on. We're not focused on any type of pardons, any type of clemency, any forgiveness from this wicked world, because at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything. He can decree something one day and then overturn it the next day, right? So that's what we're observing. We're observing the fact that there's no true justice. There's no truth, from these rulers, right? But our main concern is we are to focus on building that the house of David, and to increase in the knowledge of wisdom and the faith in Yahweh Bashim Shah. That's our main concern. That's our main focus. Verse 12 says, "And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be." And that's the truth. That's where our faith lies in. That Yahweh Bashim Shah, he is going to uh, he 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 has the righteous word. He has the last word. He, at the end of the day, what his word says is going to stand, right? So that's what we're praying for. That's what we're praying for, to be delivered out of this wicked kingdom. So, I hope this lesson was edifying. Hope we're able to get a little bit of insight as to characteristics and the wickedness of this kingdom, those who rule it, you know, those who are exercising uh, wrong judgment, you know. So, Bob Kasha, I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, the water, Yahweh Shemashah for this truth, for this revelation. I want to say Kwam Yasharala and Abba Ball.